good evening, everybody, or good morning, whatever time you watch it. This is what would be day 3 of my 50-something vlog, and I'm sitting here in my office in Cologne today. Um, this is my organization, my nonprofit organization. We call it a Verein here in Germany. But we have an organization that is formed to help with the issues in the community. When I say community, I mean particularly the Afro community, but not exclusively, because we work with people who have been displaced and have had to migrate here for different reasons. But at any rate, it's kind of a work day. That's what my travel was about yesterday. Anyway, so I think I started out yesterday talking about giving you a little bit of information about myself. And so for those of you who don't know me, I'm probably more comfortable with you guys. Because when you start getting online talking about yourself, which is something I'm not comfortable with, I'm crossing all over my comfort zone barriers. I do not like the sound of my voice. Yeah, I'm a singer and I speak and all that kind of stuff, but I'm still struggling with that. I do not like the sound of my voice when I hear it. It is unsettling. I'm still not 100% comfortable with the sight of myself on a photo or video. I'm not there yet. Still working on that. Some of y'all saying amen, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm pushing myself out there so I can deal with it and move forward. Because I have things to do that require me to have a different level of comfort in these things. So I will share a little bit about myself before we get into the other part of it. Again, these vlog entries are only going to be about like 5 to maximum 8 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep it under that. When I get going talking to people about what I'm passionate about, I can really go. Right now, I feel really at a loss because I'm not really so comfortable talking about myself. So it's not quite the same thing. So I'm finding it a stretch to go to 5 minutes. I'm feeling like, what am I going to say for 5 minutes? And the whole idea of sitting here talking into my phone is also something I have to get used to. Not my world. Anyway, I grew up in Flint, Michigan, in the USA, because I know I have people watching this from different places in the world. I grew up in a church. I'm a church boy. I played ball and all that kind of stuff. I considered myself fairly normal until I got out in the world. But I guess I was fairly typical. But I became a really active Christian when I was very young. I was 14 years old, and I dove right in. And what my big influence was my older brother, who was my person who led me to Christ and mentored me in my walk. He was my pastor and was like a father figure to me. And I left home at 14, and I was living with him. And he was a young pastor, so I got kind of knee deep into it, and he was a huge influence on my life because of the life that he lived. And he was the real thing. And I have known a few people who have had that type of sincere real devotion, to anything. And so his walk um, actually caused me to see Christ in him and see someone living what they were preaching about. So, anyway, yeah, that began at 14 years old, and I had a real church teenage life. I didn't go to school dances and not many of the games anymore, the football games and all that. Every now and again, but, I really that wasn't my thing. I kind of got right into gospel music. Growing up in the Church of God in Christ, which is a Black Pentecostal denomination, the music is off the hook. It's off the hook. And you don't have to be a Christian, you don't have to be anything, but the music is off the hook. And I grew up in the Detroit area, so that meant growing up around the Clark sisters, and my family was personally involved with them, and Dr. Mattie Moss Clark and all of that. That was our, if for those of you who know the Black church thing. Anyway, I was knee deep into church and gospel, and I was passionate about it. I was serious about it. I used to wear a shirt and tie to school every day, and I held Bible studies in the empty classrooms during lunch time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was I was knee deep. And later I became, I was a Sunday school teacher as a teenager, a youth leader, and that kind of followed me into my young adult life. I studied music education, but that wasn't the first thing. I don't know why I wrote it in this order. But anyway, first I studied business administration because I had moved to D.C. when I was about 19 and figured out very quickly that if I was going to be like all these people, driving nice cars and living in nice apartments and not living on the street, I was going to have to subsidize my music career with, or at least, put myself in a position where I could command a certain salary to live the lifestyle that I was seeing around me that I wanted to live. And so I studied business administration first, and then I went and studied religion at Kelsey Bible School in Washington, D.C., and then I studied music education, pursuing a bachelor's degree in music education. So, yeah, there's that, and ironically, my life has been about those three things. And as far as my work background, I've been a musician. I play piano and keyboards and stuff, a little bass, a little guitar, a little drums, and sometimes on a good day I can sing a little bit, but I don't consider myself a singer. That's something that I pushed into out of necessity. I started singing because I was teaching the choir. I was a choir director, and I had to teach the choir at the church when I was really young, and so I had to sing the parts. So that was that. I was a sales rep since I was a teenager. That was my other job when I was in high school, working in the mall. And then I parlayed that with my business education into positions in the corporate America as a corporate account executive for different companies like Fox Television. I worked for Rochester Midland as an industrial chemical corporation. Anyway, I had 2 girls, 2 boys, had 2 wives, not at the same time, but had 2 wives. Don't have them anymore. We're not going into that. No. Not at least now. Anyway, so my life is basically about the music business, kind of, but my passion is humanitarianism, philanthropy, and community development, and helping people to personally develop is something that has not left me since, in my younger years I was pastor, youth minister, all that kind of stuff. When I was in the church, I'm still the church. That's another conversation. Um, anyway, about this other stuff, I'm 10 minutes in, so I'm like way over. I hope this is interesting. I'll take it off for tomorrow, okay? I'll do 10 minutes, like 3 minutes shorter tomorrow. I'm almost finished. But the book I'm reading again is The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Dr. Deepak Chopra. For those of you who are Chopra readers and who are knowledgeable about his work and his writings, it's an absolutely good book. Very good for finding some balance beyond your basic orientation. And you can check it out. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in the coming days. I'll be reading it again. In terms of my physical and my fitness, I've returned to a healthy eating, my healthy eating habits. For those of you who know, I'm generally a vegetarian. I do eat fish. From time to time, I do have a taste for a little pig. Very rarely, maybe once every 4 or 5 months or something small. Maybe sometimes chicken, but very, very seldom. But anyway, I'm tightening up with that, and I've made a plan to get more water into my body. Sounds like an easy thing to do, but for some of us, it can be a challenge. Finally, I'm depositing into my mind through learning a new software program. And this is my project for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to learn it. I'll tell you about that. I'll also get more into that. I don't know why it took so long. I guess because I was talking about my history and all that kind of stuff, who I am. Don't really want to get into that so much in the future, but we'll do what we're going to do. So, that's my challenge for my mind, is to learn a new software program in a couple weeks. I'm giving myself 3 weeks to master it. And so for those of you who are just kind of, hooking up with me and getting into this with me, I'm on this 50-something thing, dealing with upgrading and renewing the disciplines of life as we make this transition. 50s to me is a decade of transition in life. And tomorrow we're going to talk about some of the challenges of the 50s, the health challenges, the body challenges like fat and water retention, like metabolism slowing down, flexibility issues, a lot of that stuff, personality issues like becoming less patient, but I'm smarter and I'm more experienced, and so we'll really get into more of that kind of stuff tomorrow. But thank you for hanging out with me. This is new. It's horrible. I know it's not fancy. It's not slick. It will get better. I promise. But hang in here with me if you dare. Okay. So have a great day. Make it a blissful day. God bless you.